Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Dr. Hafiz and my fellow viewers who watch my presentation. My name is Muhammad ALIF bin Zainuddin from Bachelor's degree of Business Administration Honors Transportation, and I'm currently doing my 24 weeks of my internship in Cel Logistic Sdn Bhd, Johor, Bahru. Today, Alhamdulillah, I have just finished my report and now I will presenting to you what I have get during my internship period for my report. Cel Logistic have been operating in Johor Bahru, owned by CK Lee since 1996. It offers a variety of services primarily in Malaysia and Singapore, including trucking, air freight, sea freight, logistics management and warehousing. So, since they have been a provider of logistics solutions in Asia Pacific and have been concentrated in Korea, Taiwan and Thailand, they are currently continuing to expand their coverage to other countries. Cel Logistic vision is to be one of the core players in the market of total logistics services, where they want to ensure the teams are being the best team player, be more efficient in shipment process, creating innovation towards logistic operation system, and attentive towards customer needs. While the mission is to serve our customers and ensuring that our services meet and exceed the requirements they have set forth. There are 6 principles that they are going to apply for the company's long-term career, which is customer focus, have integrity, perception towards change, having an open communication with all parties, attention towards all details and results driven. For Cel Logistic, so far they have 4 listed services provided in their company. Firstly, the company's warehouse offers both bonded and non-bonded warehousing services. So to meet the needs of every customer, they have a variety of material handling equipment at its facilities. The next one is where they offer land transportation services for its logistic trucking operations, primarily in Malaysia, Singapore and also Thailand. So not only that, they have open trucks, low loaders and other heavy lifting tools. For freight and forwarding services, customers have the choice of a variety of air and ocean freight service alternative. Thanks to their global strategic connections, they created solutions that they were specifically catered to the demands of the customers and agents and completed them with end-to-end visibility. They are also one of the Malaysia's very few authorized custom brokerage firms. So cargo classifications as custom tarif classification, which is HS code, preparation of all types of Malaysia custom form, cross-border clearance, corporate tax incentive and import tax, among several other services are included in the list of their custom brokerage services. Last but not least, they have been introduced with express service in 2020. They now offer shipment services to and from Singapore, East Malaysia and Peninsular Malaysia. So the services are way more smoother, quicker and more secure because the delivery agents are stationed all around Malaysia. To talk more about my training reflection, I began my internship with Cel Logistic Sdn Bhd a week before the scheduled start date, which is 31st of February 2022. I was given opportunity to attend work under the documentation department, which I learned a lot about the nature of my job and how it affects the supply chain, the logistical process and the customers too. So I had the chance to explore and learn more about the custom brokerage process. I have learned a lot about the jobs needs for the custom form within the first week. There are 4 types of shipment that I have knowledge about, which is import, export, transshipment and also I venture to sell shipments. So I received training from some of these staff members on how to use the system accessible to declare forms for invoices issued during my training. So for the custom form, the invoices will be given from customer service department, which includes items that were needed for the declaration form, such as the description of goods, its packing list, quantity of the goods, the packaging type on whether it's on a package, carton, rolls, pallets or other packaging type, which lorry number will be used for the shipments and many more. I have once received invoice from these invoices, almost 300 to 400 items in total, and I need to declare before the end of the operation hours, which is on 6 p.m. So this situation really helped me to increase my digitalization skills and establish more skills on catching up pile of invoices received in hours and minutes to declare them. This group of shipments also develops timing skills so that it can declare to the customers within a certain shipment date and time and submit it to the customs on time, preventing any delays. I learned from my coworkers how to cancel a form if it was necessary for a variety of reasons. Sometimes the cancellation was at my fault too, due to an unconscious accident. The next part from this report is SWOT analysis that I have been analyzed throughout my internship period in Cel Logistic. So I have identified strengths where the company carries a comprehensive wide range of products and services. I can see that there are a lot of goods that have been transported during the shipments as I go through the documentation process. Electronic goods are one of the items that are authorized to ship, which many businesses from this category have been offered to use the services, including Technical Systems Sdn Bhd, GS Manufacturing, Flextronics, Pintaman Sdn Bhd, and many more. The next category, which being secondary main products provided, is pharmaceutical products and food and beverage goods like Puncak. So the next strength is the staff have experience and knowledge needs to manage shipments. So it takes a lot of employees many years to adjust to it and encounter practically all of the difficulties and problems that arise in the course of their work and the shipping process. So as the staff are not only handling only one business company but a number of businesses that use Cel Logistic services, they occasionally require skills that will require them to handle shipments more quickly. For the weakness of the company, one of the weakness that I have identified is miscommunication, which is a typical issue in workplace. Occasionally, there will be the data that misinterpret some of the parties and could result in major issues. So this is because a certain representative was unable to track the information as it moved from invoices and delivery, order details to documentations, customs, and finally the transport department before they realized there was a problem with the information given. So maintaining high levels of performance for the organization depends on excellent communication among workers, which must needed for the smoother shipment. And the next weakness that I have identified is high employee turnover makes it challenging to find and keep qualified employees. When many employees leave your organization in a short period of time, this is referred to as high employee turnover. I had a lot of difficult times during the first few months of my internship, including the resignation of 3 document workers from the custom form team and never getting a new one. So it is challenging to carry on with the task at hand because a smaller number of team members will be handling a lot of shipment invoices which supposedly handled by those who have quitted. So one of the reasons is the management of Cel Logistics is unable to stay up with the government's current rewards while maintaining their original minimal benefits, which is the main reason why some people keep leaving the company even when the working environment is great. The next part of SWOT analysis is opportunity, which I have identified about the new and bigger warehouse on improving efficiency of shipments. Despite the company have a warehouse which is quite large, it still cannot support the entire items from many business companies. Before the opening of a new warehouse, they entered into contracts with third parties with warehouses like Asahi Warehouse in Pasir Gudang and Swift Integrated Logistics Sdn Bhd in Johor Bahru. However, Cel Logistic was being charged for using these outside organizations' warehouse services. So thanks to the establishment of Cel Logistic Warehouse in Senai, this 110,000 square foot building is now able to completely terminate its contract with the third parties. So the next opportunity that I have got is different kinds of logistics services available in the company. So from warehouse services to express services, they did their best on providing their best supply chain process to ensure the items delivered in with a good condition, low duty and taxes, and in short period of time. In my documentation department, we strive to provide quality service, doing our custom brokerage service as efficiently and as safely as possible. So this team has a great opportunity to identify the agent in charge of each shipping station, the cost incurred during delivery, the types of shipments that require duty and tax payment, the list of the items description provided by customs, and many other things. So since this position could boost a person's likelihood of finding employment in the logistic custom relationship, this career opportunity is quite unique to obtain. On the other hand, there will be threats identified for this company. One of them is low customer satisfaction, which may result from changing customer expectations. This satisfaction will become more equivalent with what they are expecting from a company based on their demands and needs in order to use someone's services. So consumers who are less satisfied with the services they receive are likely to stop using logistics services altogether, leave unfavorable feedback, and spread the bad word about the company. And the last threat is the fierce competition between companies in logistic market. So the fact that Tiongnan Logistics, Argo Shipment Sdn Bhd, and DHL have all been referred to as the best makes it difficult for Cel Logistic Sdn Bhd to hold on to its ranking as one of the top logistic providers in Johor Bahru. Cel Logistics is a small business actually. This company is located in a small logistic industrial area which is a little bit deeper for people to reach. In contrast to other locations such as Tiongnan, they are situated in the midst of Taman City Tropical's main road where everyone can see them and learn about them more. So as a result, they have a greater chance of attracting more customers to use their services. Move on with the case study. I have done my studies about the company and will talk more about the clearance flows of goods from consignor to consignee. There are 4 categories of goods shipments for the knowledge of the documentation team. So for the first category, they will have import shipments category for customs who wanted to import their goods into Malaysia either by air or sea. However, all of the goods being imported must be a raw material goods unless it has a certain custom exemption clause that stated the goods have its own purpose on importing back here for reasonable reasons. So all goods will be discharged its duties and sales and services taxes, which is SST, so that the customers will just have to pay for the cost of their items only. So the second category is export category. So this shipment requires for the goods, mainly finished goods, to be exported to overseas countries. Same goes as imported category. This type of shipment did not require customers to pay for its duties and SST, as the customs are already not charge it as it is part of licensed manufacturing warehouse list, which is LMW. The following shipment type is transshipment, which refers to the movement of goods from other carriers to other modes of transportation such as trucks to a selected point other than the consignee. So since there is either no direct air, land or sea link between the importer and exporter of the goods, so all of the goods will be stored at one or more intermediate logistics location. Moving to the last type of shipment, which is VMI Venture to Sell shipment, is the last form of shipment that Cel Logistics offer. So this shipment offers invoices to customers for shipments that have been transshipped forwarded by Cel Logistics, meaning that the goods have already arrived at intermediate logistics, including Cel Logistics warehouse station. So if the buyer want to load only a portion of the goods from one invoice to their manufacturing company rather than all of them, so they will employ this form of shipment by copying some goods from transshipment forms provided earlier. Based on the above mentioned flow, so Cel Logistics, the intermediate logistics company, can separate its shipment into 2 categories, which either they want to proceed with creating a new import shipment because all the goods from the invoice is delivered once, or the goods will be separated from the invoice because the buyers did not want to fully load all the goods. One of the reasons for the issue is that there is not enough space to fill into their manufacturing company because there are many raw materials. However, the customer cannot always use transshipment type of shipment as bank guarantee has its own maximum amount for covering all duties, which is why doing so much of the shipment mentioned is not so great. One of the challenges that I faced during my internship is the changes of custom tarif code, which is HS code. Custom officials use it all around the world to identify products when determining tarif and taxes and for data collection. However, the logistic documentation staff significantly struggled when custom changed the code at the very last minute, which is during June 2022, especially when it came to adapting to the new code for goods that have been using the old one since 2017. So not only just that, the custom also did not inform other agents or customers from Singapore about the changes, making them blame the company for changing the code without their consent. So for everyone to be prepared and avoid spending their time attempting to discover a new code at the very last minute before declaring the goods after they have been rejected by them, so it would be preferable if the custom made the announcement and provided the new tarif code a month in advance to ensure a smoother shipment. Another challenge comes from my job scope when making declarations through custom form. There are some of the problems that have been faced. Either it comes from the customer service, warehouse team or the customers itself. So the first problem is the wrong amount of total weight and packaging details. So weight is a crucial factor in figuring out how much cargo can fit in a truck without it becoming overweight. So in some cases, the warehouse staff will examine each item to see if it's weight is manageable to transport. It means the customer service representative is carelessly calculate the weight supplied by the customers. So same goes with packaging details, where customers will specify the exact number of cartons, reels, boxes or pallets to utilize for their goods, but the information may be incorrect and the packing type may change. The second problem comes from customers making adjustment towards invoices during documentation process. So they will abruptly either add, remove, or worst of all, cancel some of the already issued invoices because I need to provide a cancellation form to custom. So that is the reason for me to wait more longer before I can proceed the declaration of the goods. The third problem comes from warehouse report. So for when I venture to sell shipments, the manufacturing business that require the items will receive a report on the goods that will be transported out from the warehouse by Cel Logistic Data Entry team. However, it could be a problem when the goods are either already been shipped out from warehouse since few days back but still included in the newest report. The second problem is where the goods are missing from warehouse, and the third problem is where the goods supposed to ship with other goods before but being left suddenly in the warehouse. So the next problem arises is the wrong tariff code from its licensed manufacturing warehouse LMW goods list. So this happen when the customer service employee will impulsively choose the item's tariff code that has a lower duty and access to the custom in cases when the customer do not really know what kind of goods they wish to ship. The customers must take an additional action to give a precise tariff code to include with the invoices. The last problem is the shipment taking longer time than 14 days to release after declared. So custom will consider the stated document to be hanging in the system if the shipment is still not released from the system after 14 days. So problems arise for the customer service department as a result of having to keep track of whether the goods have been delivered, are still on the way, or have been cancelled by the customers. As a result of the fantastic experience I had during my 24-week internship, I have obtained a variety of information and abilities that I may use in the job. So I was able to make good use of my time and avoid coming to work empty-handed. So in an atmosphere where employees must update, edit and gather all information on shipments that will be delivered, whether they are for import or export, communication is the most critical element. So last but not least, this training program gives students a thorough job overview for their upcoming work experience, help them to set and meet their learning objective, and introduce them to the business, culture and anticipated work environment for new hires. So that is all from my presentation. Thank you.